Hello, everyone. Welcome to IA English Podcast, the show where we learn English in a fun and easy way. I'm Sara, your English teacher, and today I have a very special guest with me. His name is Juan. Juan is from Colombia, and he came to the United States 2 years ago to learn English. Now he's living in Los Angeles and planning to study languages at a university. Hi, Juan. We're really happy to have you here today. Sara. So let's start from the beginning. Why did you start learning English, Juan? What motivated you?
Thank you so much, Sara. I'm happy to be here. Well, I started learning English because I always wanted to travel and meet people from different countries. When I was younger, I loved watching movies in English with subtitles. At first, I didn't understand much, but I liked the way the language sounded. Then one day, I met some tourists in my city. They didn't speak Spanish, and I couldn't help them much. I felt frustrated, and that moment changed everything for me. I decided I wanted to understand and speak English well, not just for fun, but to really connect with others. That's when my journey started.
That's a beautiful reason to start learning. I love that it came from a real moment in your life. Now tell us, what has been the most difficult part of learning English for you?
Oh, good question, Teacher Sara. Grinning face with sweat, I think the most difficult moment for me was my first day at work here in the U.S. I found a job in a small coffee shop. It was my first job in English. On my first day, my manager asked me to take orders from customers. I thought, okay, I can do this. But when the first customer came and said, "Can I get a grande soy latte with an extra shot and light foam?" I panicked. Flush face. I didn't know what grande or extra shot or light foam meant. I just smiled and said, "Yes, of course." But I had no idea what to do. I went to the back and asked my coworker for help. I felt very embarrassed. I wanted to hide. But later that day, I told myself, this is how I learn. I wrote down the words, I asked questions, and every day I got better. After 2 weeks, I could understand most of the coffee orders. Some customers even said, "Hey, your English is good." That made me feel so happy. So, the beginning was really hard, but I learned that making mistakes is normal. Now, I always tell new students, don't be afraid to try. Every mistake is a lesson. Flex biceps.
Yes, that's an important lesson. We don't need to be perfect, we just need to keep going. But over time, your English has improved considerably, to the point where you can now communicate comfortably. How do you practice English every day? Do you have a routine or any special habits?
Well, I try to practice English every single day, even if it's just a little bit. I believe that learning a language is like going to the gym. If you stop, you lose the progress. So I make English part of my daily life. First, every morning, I watch a short video in English. Usually something funny or interesting, like a YouTube short or a clip from a podcast. I listen carefully and try to repeat some phrases. Then, during the day, I change my phone and apps to English. Instagram, TikTok, Netflix. Everything is in English. That helps me see the words and connect them with real life. Also, I like to talk to myself in English. I know it sounds crazy. Grinning face with smiling eyes, but when I'm walking or cooking, I describe what I'm doing. For example, now I'm cutting the tomato. I need a clean plate. It helps me think in English. At night, I usually read a few pages of an easy English book. Right now I'm reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's funny and simple, perfect for learners like me. Oh, and once a week, I call a friend from my English class and we have a video chat. We practice conversation, correct each other, and talk about our week. That helps a lot with speaking. So yeah, I don't study for hours, but I use English every day in small ways. That's my secret. Smiling face with smiling eyes.
That's a great strategy, Juan. I think many people can try that at home, so that they can see how you do it and the audience can implement this help to improve their English. Now tell us, what advice would you give to other students who are just starting to learn English?
Oh, I have many tips. I know learning English is hard sometimes, but it can also be fun if you do it the right way. So here are my best tips for other students. First tip, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Really, I used to feel very shy and scared of speaking because I didn't want to sound wrong. But making mistakes is part of learning. Now I laugh at my mistakes and I learn from them. Grinning face with sweat. Second tip, practice a little every day. Even 10 or 15 minutes is better than nothing. You don't have to study a lot, but you have to be consistent. Watch a video, listen to a podcast, read a short story. Small things make a big difference over time. Third tip, use what you like. If you love music, learn with English songs. If you love video games, play them in English. That way, learning becomes something fun, not boring. Fourth tip, talk to yourself. I know I said it before, but it really works. Describe your actions. Ask yourself questions. Even answer them. It's like creating your own conversation practice. Fifth tip, don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own speed. Just focus on your progress and celebrate every small win, like when you understand a movie or say something correctly for the first time. And finally, have patience. English is a journey, not a race. Sometimes you feel like you don't improve, but if you keep going, one day you'll realize how much better you are. Keep going. Raising hands.
I couldn't agree more. Now I want to hear a fun or maybe embarrassing story related to your English learning. Do you have a funny or interesting anecdote to share with us? For example, when I was learning Spanish, I confused words a lot and I had quite a few funny anecdotes.
Oh yes, I have a funny story. Now it's funny, but at the time I was super embarrassed. Flush face. So one day, I was at a coffee shop here in Los Angeles. It was my first week in the city, and I was really trying to practice my English. I wanted to order a hot chocolate. Easy, right? But instead of saying hot chocolate, I said, I want a hot chicken, please. Chicken hot beverage. The woman behind the counter looked at me like, what? And I didn't realize what I said. I kept smiling and saying, yes, hot chicken, please. No coffee, just hot chicken. She started laughing, and the guy behind me said, dude, I think you mean hot chocolate. And then I realized it, and my face turned red like a tomato. Tomato. We all laughed, and I said, yes, sorry, hot chocolate, not a hot chicken. Now, every time I go to that cafe, they call me Mr. Hot Chicken, faced with tears of joy. But the good thing is, I never forgot how to say hot chocolate again. So I guess mistakes help us learn.
That's hilarious. I think everyone has a story like that. But those moments are part of learning and they help us remember. 1. Because the United States is a very large country, and I imagine you visited some cities or traveled here. Have you enjoyed your time in the United States? Have you visited new places or had any special experiences here?
Yes, Sarah, I've really enjoyed my time here. When I first arrived, everything felt big and different. The food, the streets, even the people. But little by little, I started to feel more comfortable. I visited a few places like San Diego, Las Vegas, and Santa Monica Beach. I love the sunsets in California. They are beautiful. One of my favorite memories is going to a baseball game for the first time. I didn't know the rules, but the energy of the crowd was amazing. Also, I went hiking in the mountains near Los Angeles. The view was incredible, and I even saw a deer. These experiences helped me practice English too. I had to ask for directions, buy tickets, order food, everything. So yes, I've had a great time. I still want to visit New York someday. That's my dream.
What has learning English taught you about yourself? What's your reflection after all this time? And do you have any thoughts that you can share with us about this whole journey to learn English and achieve your goals? Before this reflection, we finish one.
Yes, I would love to share something with everyone listening. Learning English is not easy. It takes time, practice, and sometimes making mistakes. But that's okay, because every mistake is a step forward. Seedling. When I first came to the U.S., I was scared to speak. I didn't want people to laugh at me. But now I know that the only way to get better is to try, even if you say hot chicken instead of hot chocolate. Grinning face with sweat. So, my advice is, don't be afraid. Speak, even if it's not perfect. Watch movies in English. Listen to music. repeat what people say, and talk to yourself in English if you need to. Use English every day. And remember, every word you learn, every sentence you say, brings you closer to your dream. So keep going. You're doing great. Thank you, Teacher Sara, for having me today. This was really fun. Folded hands.
Thank you so much, Juan, for sharing your story with us. It was inspiring, funny, and full of useful tips for everyone learning English. And to all our listeners out there, remember, learning English is a journey. It doesn't happen in one day, but every small step counts. Don't worry if you make mistakes. That's how we learn. What matters is that you keep going, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. If one can do it, so can you. Flexed biceps. This was IA English Podcast, where we use the power of AI to help you learn English in a fun, real, and easy way. Don't forget to follow us, leave a comment, and share this episode with someone who wants to learn English too. See you in the next episode, and until then, keep learning, keep smiling, and keep speaking English. Bye.